The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 40. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of phenomenal women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a special lady on today. She is actually from Toronto, like I am, and she's also a business and sales coach. And, I'm going to introduce you to her. Her name is Imelda Belanger. And Imelda, welcome to the show. Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Good morning. First of all, thank you for inviting me. I really commend you for creating such amazing podcasts so people can find their inner self-confidence. So thank you.
No problem.
Actually, my full name is Imelda Belanger, but I've been called Imie for us a shorter version of Imelda because I find people usually mispronounce the word Imelda for some reason. I know it's also Italian and Spanish, so it should be easy, but a lot of people mispronounce it. So people have been calling me Imie for short. And like you, I'm from the Philippines. I immigrated here in the early 80s, not because I wanted to come here, but my sister thought this is where I'll find opportunities. Of course, I didn't agree with her then, but I had no choice because we're orphaned and she's older, so she led the way, basically. As an Asian newcomer, I had my challenges. I was bullied in high school, the usual. Some people didn't like my flat nose. I was teased about my funny little accent, among other things. So I had no self-confidence, or I was actually quite depressed in high school. Back then, I didn't think I could ever have self-confidence to do the things I wanted to do. And I was really introverted, not shy, but aloof. I preferred to be left alone. And I think most introverts have that. And sometimes I still prefer to be left alone, even now, actually. Now, my mother told me before she passed on that selling will help me build self-confidence. Of course, I didn't believe her then. But eventually, as I forced myself to meet people and take more responsibilities, I became more confident in what I can do to help others. So now I'm a sales and business coach and mentor. I help women entrepreneurs who are introverts or the quiet type to sell with confidence and class. And that's basically who I am now and what I do.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I love how you cater to people who maybe still have a little bit of being an introvert, because there are women out there who still struggle with that. So I'm glad that you have a business where you can really help people. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
This one is a long one, but I found it very useful for me for a long time. I've used it all throughout my business career, and it's called The Joy of Creating by L. Ron Hubbard, and it says, "Force yourself to smile, and you'll soon stop frowning. Force yourself to laugh, and you'll soon find something to laugh about. Wax enthusiastic, and you'll soon feel so. A being causes his own feelings. The greatest joy there is in life is creating. Splurge on it." Now, this quote made me realize that I alone is the only person responsible to make me happy. No one else, and I can't blame anyone else. I'm stuck with myself, so I might as well do something about it. And this quote helped me see the future as I wanted to create. Whenever I'm in a situation, I think of this quote and know that the change I want to make is within me, that I can do something to change anything, really. And that's really my favorite one.
Awesome. I love that. It's a great quote. It's true. Happiness has to come from with us. It has to be our decision to decide if we want to be happy or not. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
For me, self-confidence is the ability to serve others, to get things done for you and others, big or small. When you put out anything to help people and take the attention off of yourself and put that attention on others, you'll find, at least in my experience, that you forget about your inadequacy, negative self-belief, and all the things that go through your head. And you really focus on the person in front of you and the people you're helping. You gain self-confidence because you're able to do things for others, and you just forget that you can't do things, And I believe that we have been given enormous power to do anything. So when you don't feel confident, all you have to do is start small, take baby steps, and eventually you'll be conquering the world.
Thank you for that, Imelda. And it's true. You just got to go out there and just start taking action. So I appreciate that. And
yeah, it starts with one step forward, like one step at a time. I'm sure we all know that. Like we've been taught that. But when you really apply that, if you are afraid to speak in front of groups, speak to a couple of people, and increase it bit by bit, and you'll eventually everything will fall into place, and the universe will respond to you in the most positive way.
Thank you. That's so true. So, you mentioned your life before. You were bullied in school, and you were pretty shy. Was that like how your life was before?
Yeah, I mean, I've really taken that quote to heart, and I know that if I were to succeed in life, I would have to do something. And I was totally self-conscious and hating myself. I was never pleased with myself. So with that kind of mindset, I was really attracting problems. Sometimes I was even attracting problems that wasn't a problem. You know what I mean? And when I went into sales and marketing, where every action I took affected my team and their income, that's when I realized that it's not just me that I need to worry. That the world doesn't revolve around me and my issues. It's not about me. It's about the people that are affected my actions or inactions. It's like being a mom. After bearing a child, it's no longer about yourself. It's about the child and your family. So when you start to operate from a giving place, something magical happens. You start to gain that magical power that is really have always been there. You've been given that power. We've all been given that power, and it's up to us to use it. So that's how I came from a self-conscious person to the self-confidence person that I am today.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And what was like that aha moment that you had when you realized, you can be something of value. You can help people out there. You are confident enough to do the things that you want.
I think my aha moment happened in the early 80s, actually late 80s. I just finished high school. I actually finished high school in the Philippines, and I came here to Canada, and then I had to continue high school because our high school in the Philippines is equivalent to grade 10 here, I believe. So I continued to attend high school here. I was working and studying. And then one day, after partying, I figured, I think I'm done with partying, discoing, wasting my life, trying to drown my sorrows. I miss back home. I miss my friends and my family members. So I was quite depressed. And then one night I was flipping through the newspaper, and an ad for a volunteer position just jumped at me. And so I applied for the volunteer job. And I've been volunteering ever since. And that's when I realized my talents. I saw how I was able to change people's lives, not by huge actions, but small things like just being there and listening, acknowledging people, really paying attention more about their needs, really had the power to elevate a person in a new level, and that's how it helped me. And realizing that paved the way for my personal development, self-discovery and growth and whatever you call those things. And when you're a business person, freelancer, even if you work for someone else, your ability to listen to what people want and need and have the confidence to help them is what will make you more money and help you succeed. And that was a big thing for me to realize that it's really about creating what I want to create. And to do that, you just have to get out there and do something and not think about it and think about yourself and your misfortune or your life. You go out there and help somebody.
Thank you for that. And it's so true, right? Just being a go-giver, when you just give to people who you can inspire, I mean, it comes back to you tenfold. So, thanks for sharing that. I love that how, you said this volunteer position just popped up in front of you. Sometimes the God or the universe or whoever you believe in just leaves clues right in front of your face. And some people can't even see that, but I'm glad you were able to catch that, right? Because it was probably meant to be, right? To be where you are today. So what's your life like right now?
I enjoy my life. I think you and I are the same, where we chose to own our own business. I own an online business called I Shop at Home, and it's a directory for network marketers and direct sellers. And I also offer coaching and business mentorship. And at the same time, I do a lot of volunteers work in the community, especially caregivers. And I try to balance all that. I love gardening, and I love traveling, and just enjoying life and family. So my business allowed me to do that, and that's really what I want to create. I want to travel. So I'm really working hard to develop my business and take it to a new level so that I can go anywhere and help people and do business.
Awesome. Well, I'm really glad that you're able to do the things that you love, like gardening. My mom is a big gardener. I mean, when summer comes, that's her children. So.
I know. I think it's a stress relief activity. I love traveling too. Sometimes I pack my laptop and just go out somewhere and work in a field or under a tree. As an introvert, it really, that time to work by myself really feeds my soul.
Awesome. So if the listeners wanted to get to know more about your services, like your coaching services, your mentoring service, is there a link that we can go to, or any social media profiles that we can connect with?
Yeah, they can easily find me on Facebook. I'm Imelda Belanger on all my social media profile, and also ImieBelanger.com is my main website.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. So to the listeners out there, if you want to know a little bit more about Imelda's services, or you just want to connect with her and thanking her for sharing her story, just head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com. Just search for Imelda's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really just want to thank Imelda for taking the time to do this, for sharing her story. I'm sure, the listeners loved what you had to share. I mean, we all go through the same things in life, and, it's nice to hear that someone who was having so many issues was able to rise up from it. So thank you, Imelda.
No problem. I think a lot of women, especially Asian, go through that journey. Especially when you come to a new country, you can't really avoid that. And I haven't heard a Cinderella kind of story. I think a lot of immigrants in Canada go through that struggle at the beginning, and then they grow out of it, I think. And that's what a lot of people in the community are telling me.
Yeah, I mean, I went through the same thing when I migrated here. I was teased at school, but as you grow older, you tend to care less about it, right? Because you have other priorities. So Thanks again.
Yes.
And to the listeners out there, be on the lookout for another new episode of another woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Subscribe to The Tao of Self-Confidence on iTunes and Stitcher to hear more stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence.